Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. From Sunset Field in Brush, the Brush Beet Diggers face the Eaton Reds. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Fergus. Starting lineups. The Beet Digger starting lineup is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check it out today. Starting lineup for Brush is Carson Rule is on the mound. Braxton Shelton will be hitting second at second base. Nick Wellen at short. Ben Garrett hitting cleanup at third. Alejandro Maltos Garcia is in center field hitting fifth. Bryson Woolridge, the first baseman, hits sixth. Hunter Ledgate, the catcher, batting seventh. Eli Garcilaso gets the start in right field, and he'll be hitting eighth. Caden Moriarty, left fielder, will be hitting ninth. For Eaton, Roper Rich, third baseman, leads off. Bryce Leifgren will be the second baseman, hitting second. Jared Ure, the pitcher, and Ryan Ure, the designated hitter. The opening pitch is brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Building by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. Carson Rule gets the sign, and the pitch. Roper Rich drills it to left center field, up and over the fence for a home run. Wow. What a way to start. First pitch, and he hits a home run over the left field fence for a 1-0 lead for Eaton. What a way to start. Carson Rule generally around the plate. Carson Rule gets the start today. He has a 3.32 ERA, a 1-1 record. Carson Rule doesn't walk many guys, very few, and he's always around the plate. And I think Roper Rich knew that and took that first pitch out of here. Pitch from Carson Rule to Bryce Leifgren. A ball. I take that back. It was a strike on the outside corner of the plate. Pitch from Rule, outside corner of the plate, a strike. Leifgren falls behind. No balls, 2 strikes to Carson Rule. Rule, the offering. Curveball, upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brush comes into the game today with a record of 8-6, 2-2 in the Patriot League. Brush is 6-3 at home, and they've got a 1-game losing streak. The pitch from Rule, fouled back by Bryce Leifgren. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rule gets the sign from Hunter Ledgate, his battery mate today, and the offering. And Leifgren reaches out, hits a ball to right field, just over the second baseman's head and right in front of the right fielder, Eli Garcilaso. Texas Leaguer, base hit. Eaton, after the home run from Roper Rich, has the second batter of the game reaching first base on a single. That brings up Jared Ure. Jared Ure is a senior for Eaton. Good-sized kid. First pitch from Rule, down and in. Ball. Jared Ure is hitting .395 on the season. The pitch from Carson Rule. Inside corner of the plate, strike. Bryce Leifgren leads off at first base. The lefty Rule eyes him over there. Decent pickoff move. The pitch to the plate. In the dirt. Hunter Ledgate scoops it out of the clay. 2 balls and a strike to Jared Ure. Jared Ure he's pitching today. Swings through the pitch. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. I get the 2 Ure brothers mixed up. Ryan Ure pitched the other day on Thursday against Resurrection Christian, pitched 6.1 innings. The game ended up going to extra innings. The ball hit from Jared Ure out to center field. Hondo Maltos Garcia loses it in the sun. He was using his glove to be able to see, but that sun is really bright. And Maltos Garcia did not see it. It went over his head. So Ure has a double. And Leifgren moves up to third base. And that brings up the designated hitter, Ryan Ure, number 20. Is coming into the game as a pinch runner for Jared Ure, courtesy runner. Rule looks in, ball hit by Ryan Ure, and that is on Mr. Sidebottom's driveway for a 3-run home run. Dirk Duncan was the courtesy runner for Jared Ure. Ryan Ure, the first pitch from Carson Rule, and he hits it over the left field fence for a home run. Brush is down 4-0. Meeting of the minds, Bryson Wooldridge, Ben Garrett, Hunter Ledgate, they come out, talk to Carson Rule, say, hey, shake it off. Shake it off, we'll be okay. But Eaton has jumped out ahead 4-0. Umpire having Dalton Logan make sure that he takes off his gold chain necklace around his neck. Illegal by Colorado High School Activities Association standards. Any jewelry not necessary for the game. Later on, when you move on to the next level or the next level after that, maybe you can get away with that, but not at the high school level. The pitch from Carson Rule. Low. Ball one. Eaton comes into the game number 1 in the state in RPI. They overtook University after Thursday's games. Pitch from Carson Rule. Curveball. Curved in and struck Dalton Logan on the leg. Dalton Logan takes first base, brings up CJ Blaskowski. Carson Rule goes over to first base, keep Logan close. Eaton generally doesn't run, or at least their stats on max preps don't show that they run. The pitch from Carson Rule. Inside corner of the plate, strike. They've got 14 stolen bases as a team on the season. And they played 14 games. The pitch from Carson Rule. CJ Blaskowski swings through the pitch. Carson Rule's up in the count. No balls, 2 strikes to Blaskowski. Dalton Logan leads off from first base. The pitch. Blaskowski fouls that back to the screen. In RPI, Eaton is number 1, University is number 2, Sterling is number 3. The pitch from Carson Rule. Blaskowski gets under that, fouls it off down the left field line. It's in area where Brush could play it, but it falls safely to the grass. Blaskowski comes back to the plate, down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. When you look up in max preps, University is number 1, Eaton is number 2, and Sterling is number 3. Carson Rule throws over to first, keep Dalton Logan close. The 2 respective polls, Brush is 9th in RPI and 9th on max preps. I think they're both representative for where both teams are on the season. Blaskowski fouls that ball down the right field line and out of play. In my calculations of where the strength of schedule is for 3A, Eaton is number 1 with strength of schedule. And I've got University 2 and Brush 3. The pitch from Carson Rule, lined up the middle, line drive to Hondo in center field, and Logan stops at second base after the hit by Blaskowski. Blaskowski, catcher, is going to run for himself. Coach Odell comes out to the mound in order to talk to his senior Carson Rule and the rest of the infield. So for Eaton, so far they've scored 4 runs on 5 hits, no brush errors, and obviously the inning's not over with yet, so nobody left on. But right now they have runners at first and second. Coach Odell back to the dugout. The rest of Brush defense takes position. Caden Moriarty in left, Alejandro Maltos Garcia in center, and Eli Garcilazo in right. Ben Garrett at third, Nick Wellen at short, Braxton Shelton second base, Bryson Woolridge the first baseman, catcher Hunter Lundgate, and on the mound Carson Rule. Carson Rule peers in, the offering to Mason Hernandez, and he fouls it down the third baseline on the ground past Ben Garrett. Eaton is teeing off on Carson Rule. Almost seems as if they know what's coming, but when they've been hitting the ball, they've been squaring it up. Mason Hernandez, Coach Hernandez for Eaton's son, plays first base, swings through the pitch. Pretty good, healthy hack by Mason Hernandez. The offering from Carson Rule to Mason Hernandez. Strike 3, looking. Carson Rule with his first strikeout of the day. So with 1 out, runners at first and second. Logan at second, Blaskowski at first. Rule, the pitch. Strike on the inner third of the plate. Coach Hernandez gives signs down to his charges at first and second. Rule peers in, the sign, the offering. Inside, curveball, almost hit him. That curveball from that left-hander, that comes in to a right-hander's backside leg. Brody Mills, the hitter, his count is 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch down into the dirt. Hunter Ludgate pulls it out of the dirt, keeps it in front of him. Runners stay right where they are. Count to Brody Mills. 2-1. Brody Mills swings and fouls that off down the right field line and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going into today, Patriot League play, University and Eaton are 4-0. Sterling is 3-1. And then you have Brush, Resurrection Christian, Liberty Common at 2-2. The pitch from Carson Rule. Curveball hits to Nick Wellen, the shortstop, and gets the ball to Braxton Shelton. Braxton Shelton gets the out at second base, so Blaskowski is back to the dugout for the second out, and Dalton Logan scores on the throw as the ball goes to the screen. Fielder's choice, grounder, hard to the shortstop. 4-6. Carson Rule attempts to get Brody Mills out at first base, throws the ball away, and Brody Mills rounds second. Bryson Woolridge grabs the ball, gets it back to Braxton Shelton. Brody Mills moves up to third base. So the error by Carson Rule. Pitch from Carson Rule to Cole Schumacher, number 9 hitter in the lineup. A strike, the pitch from Carson Rule. Schumacher hits the ball to left field. Caden Moriarty comes in, squeezes the ball for the out in left field. For Eaton, they scored 5 runs on 5 hits. There were no brush errors and 1 runner left on base. All 5 of those runs were earned. With the score after a half inning of play, Eaton 5, Brush 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We welcome you back to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Sunset Field. Bottom of the first inning, Eaton with a 5-0 lead. Jared Ure on the mound. First pitch to Carson Rule, a strike. The offering from Ure, throws the ball hard. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Eaton had 2 home runs in the first inning. The pitch from Ure, curveball to Carson Rule, a strike right down the middle, curveball. Pitch from Ure to Rule, and Carson Rule swings through the pitch for the first out in the game. Brush first strikeout. Ure stands on that rubber and is ready to go as soon as he gets it. Foul back. We ended up changing the lineup, and that was Alejandro Maltos Garcia who led off the first inning, and he struck out. Carson Rule's at the plate right now. Full count to Carson Rule. Strike 3. Looking. So 2 strikeouts from Jared Ure in the first inning. That brings up Braxton Shelton. Ure, the sign, the pitch, curveball to Braxton Shelton. The ball just curved outside of the zone. Blaskowski pulls it out of the dirt. The pitch from Ure. Upstairs, ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Braxton Shelton. Braxton Shelton fouls that up and out of play. Ure standing on the rubber, waiting for Shelton to get back into the box. Ure's ready to go. It's like a tiger. The pitch from Ure upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike to the freshman, hitting .537 coming into today's game. The pitch from Ure. Strike. Right on the outer third of the plate. Full count to Braxton Shelton. The pitch from Ure. Shelton hits a ball down the right field line, curling. It's going to be foul, and the right fielder drops it. He had a long run from where he was set up. Full count to Braxton Shelton. 17th pitch in the first inning from Jared Ure to Braxton Shelton. Swinging strike. What did we do here? I'll catch up here. First pitch from Jared Ure to Nick Wellen. A strike. I had it right to begin with. Carson Rule struck out. Braxton Shelton strikes out. And that brings up the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Nick Wellen. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wellen. Wellen hits the ball. 1 hopper to the third baseman who throws low to first base. First baseman can't scoop it, so Wellen is on via the air from the third baseman. That brings up Ben Garrett. Wellen leads off. Garrett coming into today just dipped a little bit below 300, hitting 279. 13 RBIs on the season. Wellen leads off at first. Pitch from Ure. Fouled back by Ben Garrett. Garrett's down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Seems like that's what was Garrett's bugaboo on Thursday when they faced Valley. He just kept falling it back in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch gets away from Blaskowski, and Wellen moves up to second base on the pass ball. Garrett, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ure, the stretch, the offering. Ball outside to Ben Garrett, the junior. Ure with the offering. The pitch. Garrett defensively swings at a pitch on the black on the outside corner of the plate and fouls it off, out of play. See if Brush can get a run in here in the bottom of the first after Eaton scored 5 in the top half. Curveball to Garrett. Brings the count to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The ball just spun a little bit outside. Garrett grips the bat, set, the pitch, ball inside. Garrett goes to first base on the base on ball. That brings to the plate Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Hondo swings at the first pitch, swings through the pitch, up around the numbers. Ure, the pitch. Hondo pops it up to the right side. First baseman gets underneath it, squeezes it for the 3rd out. Brush did not score in the bottom of the first inning. 0 runs, 0 hits. There was 1 Eaton error, and there were 2 runners left on base. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We go to the bottom, we go to the top of the second inning with Eaton coming to the plate. Bryce Leafgren, number 2 hitter in the lineup, will be hitting for the 2nd time. Carson Rule on the mound for Brush. Brush has a steep hill to climb against the number 1 team in 3A, Eaton Reds. Carson Rule, this will be pitched 32 pitches in the first inning. This will be pitch number 33. Pitch from Rule, curveball in the dirt, and Leafgren swings at it. Strike 1. Nice pitch by Rule. Gets the sign, the offering. And Bryce Leafgren hits a ball to left center field. Hondo makes a long run out to the warning track in left center field and reaches out and hauls that ball in for an out. Nice play by Alejandro Maltos Garcia on the warning track in order to get the out. That brings to the plate Bryce Leafgren, lined out to left field. If you're as confused as I am right now, that's my mistake. I'll catch up here with what we've got going on the field. I got a batter off, and so radio-wise, I'm off a batter all the way through, both Brush and Eaton. Jared Ure fouls the first pitch to Brush's dugout. Next pitch, he lines up the middle to center field for a base hit. And we have the courtesy runner at first base for Jared Ure, number 20, Dirk Duncan. The pitch to Ryan Ure. Ryan Ure hit a 3-run home run his last time up. Ryan Ure, the younger brother of Jared, fouls or hits the ball up the first base line, and it's in no man's land. Bryson Woldridge comes in order to pick it up, but Ure gets down the line quick enough that Carson Rule's not able to cover the bag. So single from Ryan Ure. That was just a no man's land. Where you pick it up and you're going to be twixt in between and being able to get back to first base to get the out. That brings up Dalton Logan. Dalton Logan was hit by pitch the first time up. Pitch from Carson Rule, upstairs, a ball. Runner at second, Dirk Duncan. Runner at first, Ryan Ure. The pitch from Rule. Inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Dalton Logan. Rule with a pitch. Skips away to the left. Wild pitch from Carson Rule. Carson Rule regathers at second base. 3 balls, no strikes to Dalton Logan. Junior for Eaton. The pitch from Rule right down the middle. Strike. 3-1 to Dalton Logan. 2 outs. In the top half of the second inning, the pitch from Rule. Inside, ball 4. Rule had hit Logan the first time up, and the second time he walks him. Those are the 2 free passes that Brush has given up on the day, and that brings up the senior, C.J. Blaskowski. Runners have the bases occupied, first, second, and third for Eaton. First pitch from Carson Rule upstairs and out of the zone to C.J. Blaskowski. C.J. Blaskowski hitting .333 on the year coming in. Hits the ball to center field. Alejandro Maltos Garcia reaches up, squeezes the ball, for the out. So Eaton did not score in the top of the second inning. They had no runs on 2 hits, 1 brush error, and they left 3 runners on base. After 1.5 innings of play, Eaton 5, Brush 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome you back to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 and 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Jared Ure, the first pitch to Bryson Wooldridge. Bryson Wooldridge fouls the ball into the dirt out in front of the plate, but it came off his foot. The pitch from Ure gets full extension as he pitches and throws the ball to Wooldridge. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bryson Wooldridge. Curveball from Jared Ure, a ball, dipped out of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bryson Wooldridge. Swinging strike and held on by C.J. Blaskowski for the first out in the bottom of the second inning. And that brings up Hunter Ludgate. First pitch to Ludgate, a strike. Ludgate offers at the second pitch from Jared Ure, swinging strike. Down on the count, no balls, 2 strikes. From Ure, the pitch, out of the zone, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ure stands on that rubber, ready to fire. Here's the pitch. Ball low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Ludgate. Pitch from Jared Ure. Strikeout, inside corner of the plate. It's 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Brings up Eli Garcilaso. Pitch from Ure upstairs to Eli Garcilaso. Ure toes the rubber, the offering. Garcilaso swings through the pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 8 hitter, the right fielder, senior on Brush's lineup. Pitch from Ure, a strike on the outside corner of the plate. Ure, the offering, down. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Brush Beat Diggers in the bottom of the second inning. Jared Ure toes the rubber, gets a sign, the pitch, and Eli Garcilaso swings through the pitch. Blaskowski holds on for the strikeout. After 2 complete innings, Eaton 5, Brush 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're back to Sunset Field in Brush. Mason Hernandez leads off for Eaton in the top of the third inning. Carson Rule still on the mound, giving up the 5 runs in the first inning, 2 home runs. Mason Hernandez steps in, and he struck out his first time at the plate. First pitch to Mason Hernandez from Carson Rule, a strike. Carson Rule, the pitch, outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 7 hitter, the first baseman for Eaton. The pitch from Rule grounds it to Garrett at third. Garrett over to first to Wooldridge for the out. And that brings up Brody Mills. Brody Mills hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Pitch from Carson Rule to Brody Mills. Brody Mills pops it up in the infield. Ben Garrett calls off Carson Rule. Ben Garrett comes in, squeezes it for the out. Two outs quickly in the top of the third inning. Carson Rule sitting at 47 pitches, 33 strikes, 14 balls. The pitch to Cole Schumacher, who flew out his first time up, a strike. The offering from Rule, check swing, safe. Umpire asked for help down the line with his partner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Schumacher. The pitch from Carson Rule inside. Nice pitch. Sometimes you need to pitch inside to hitters in order to keep them off balance. Exactly what Carson Rule did there. The pitch from Rule. Schumacher hits it to right field, and Ivan Cardenas comes in, and the ball falls for a single down the right field line. Cardenas comes into the game, substituting for Eli Garcilaso. And that ball drops for a single. Cardenas had a chance, had his glove out, made a dive, but tough play. There's a swale in right field, and about right where he was coming in, that's where the swale was, so could have lost balance, took him off step, created a different sight line. Carson Rule goes over to first base on the pickoff, safe. Cole Schumacher leading off. Brings up Roper Rich. Roper Rich hit the first pitch of the game over the left field fence for a home run. Roper Rich hits the first pitch to Garrett, who makes all 3 outs. Garrett over to Wooldridge for the 3rd out. So Eaton did not score in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs on 1 hit, no beat digger errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. After 2.5 innings, Eaton 5, Brush 0. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Brush. Eaton 5, Brush 0 as we head into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jared Ure toes the rubber. Caden Moriarty, the number 9 hitter, left fielder for Brush, comes to the plate. Moriarty asks for time, gets set. The pitch from Jared Ure. Moriarty grounds the ball to second base, about a 3-hopper, and he gets it over to the first baseman for the out. So Moriarty grounds out from 4-3 for the first out on the first pitch of the 3rd inning. And that brings up top of the lineup, Carson Rule. Carson struck out first time. Pitch from Ure, curveball, across the numbers, strike. Ure toes the rubber, brings it. Rule fouls the ball down the right field line. Rule's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes to a very good pitcher, and Jared Ure. Ure with the pitch. Blaskowski came up, getting ready to throw the ball around. Looked like he thought it was a strike. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Carson Rule. Pitch must have just been off the black. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ure, the offering. Low and outside. Full count for Carson Rule. Good opportunity. Carson sees pitches from Ure. Here's the offering. Carson Rule fouls it back to the screen. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat for Carson Rule. Rule fouls that back out of play. Just the more times you can see the pitches from these guys gives you ample opportunity to know what they've got. And Eaton, like I said, they played a 13-inning game with Res Christian on Thursday, and they used 2 of their pitchers, 6 1/3 and 6 2/3. So those guys, after their pitch counts, are not available today. Carson Rule strikes out looking on the outside corner of the plate for the second out. So if Brush can extend Jared Ure, we can get into their bullpen, and that could very well be a good thing. First pitch to Braxton Shelton, upstairs and out of the zone. Braxton Shelton struck out his first time up. The pitch from Ure down the middle for a strike. Jared Ure ready to go. Ball, pitch. Shelton gets the first hit for Brush on a slow grounder that went underneath Roper Rich's glove at third base. So Braxton Shelton gets the single to left field. And that brings up Nick Wellen. Nick Wellen reached on air his first time up. Shelton leads off. 2 outs for Brush. Nick Wellen fouls the pitch back and out of the zone. Nick Wellen, number 21, on his back. Shelton gets the lead. Ure, the offering, upstairs and in to Nick Wellen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick Wellen, number 3 hitter for Brush. The stretch from Ure. Wellen fouls the ball back to the screen and off the top of the catcher's glove. Shelton runs down to second, but he comes back to first base. Wellen down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if Wellen can get a good cut here on a fastball from Ure, the pitch. And it was a curveball in the dirt. Blaskowski picks it up, throws down to first base for the out. So for Brush, in the bottom of the 3rd inning, they had no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors from Eaton, and there was 1 runner left on base. So after 3 complete innings, Eaton 5, Brush 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome back to Sunset Field in Brush. The first pitch from Carson Rule to Bryce Leafgren is a ball in the dirt. And the second pitch to Leafgren is inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Bryce Leafgren, who has a single and a fly out on the day, 1 for 2 officially. From Rule, the pitch, strike, 2 balls and a strike. Rule sitting on 55 pitches. Leafgren hits the ball past Ben Garrett. Nick Wellen picks it up, throws it over to Bryson Wooldridge at first, but Leafgren has the base hit. And that brings up Jared Ure. Jared Ure is 2 for 2 on the day, a double and a single. Leafgren leads off at first base. Carson Rule peers in for the sign, the pitch. And Ure squares it up, hits the ball, line drive between short and third to left field. Moriarty gets the ball back in, and Leafgren moves up to second. Ure at first. 3 for 3 on the day. And we have Dirk Duncan, courtesy runner, coming in for Jared Ure. And that brings up Ryan Ure, 2 for 2 on the day, a home run and a single. Pitch from Carson Rule inside to Ryan Ure, the designated hitter. Ryan Ure is one that pitched against Res Christian on Thursday, 13 innings game that Eaton ended up winning 3-2. Ure fouls that down the right field line and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on first and second. Eaton with a 5-0 lead with nobody out, looking to add to that score. Ure fouls that to the Beat Digger dugout down the third baseline. Carson Rule, pitch number 60. Carson's always around the zone, 41 strikes, 19 balls. Ryan Ure, big kid, gets set, the pitch. Carson Rule throws back to Braxton Shelton to keep Bryce Leafgren close to the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Ure, the younger brother, sophomore of Jared Ure. The pitch from Rule, curveball on the outside part of the plate, looked good. Rule the ball. Umpire's been consistently good today. The pitch from Carson Rule. Ure hits the ball to right center field. Maltos Garcia is going back, and the ball drops in right center field. Leafgren comes around and scores. Duncan to third, and Ryan Ure has a stand-up double. And that brings up Dalton Logan. Dalton Logan pitched the other day against Res Christian. He pitched the 6 2/3. Ryan Ure pitched 6 1/3. And Eaton, like I said, came away with the win 3-2 against Resurrection Christian. First pitch, Dalton Logan unloads. And Maltos Garcia goes back to left center field. And the ball is out of here for Eaton's third home run of the day. And that brings the score to 9-0. Wow. I thought maybe Eaton would be ready for a letdown after a 10-game winning streak, reaching number 1, as well as a 13-inning game against Res Christian. But boy, was I wrong. 5 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the fourth inning, and Eaton has a 9-0 lead over the Brush Beat Diggers. And that'll bring up C.J. Blaskowski, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out. The pitch from Rule had a little bit more on it than before. I think Carson might be a little bit angry at giving up third home run to Eaton. Second pitch, down and in from Carson Rule to C.J. Blaskowski. Brings the count 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch from Rule upstairs. I think Carson's rattled a little bit at this stage. I would be too, giving up 9 runs. The pitch from Rule. 4-pitch walk to C.J. Blaskowski, who's rubbing his hands like a little kid who's tickled to death that he gets to first base. Coach Odell comes to the mound, and he's going to make a pitching change. This Brush pitching change is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them at 842-4555. Rose, I think what we'll do is we'll go to a 1-minute break. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Eaton 9, Brush 0. We'll have a warm-up for Alejandro Maltos Garcia. We'll be right back after these messages. We're back to Sunset Field with the pitching change. Alejandro Maltos Garcia comes in from center field. Will be pitching with nobody out in the top 4th inning, and Carson Rule goes to center field after giving up 9 runs, and he's responsible for C.J. Blaskowski, the runner at first base. So here we are, top of the 4th inning, nobody out, and we just have a pitching change, and that'll bring up Mason Hernandez for Eaton. Mason Hernandez is 0 for 2 on the day, one of the rare ones. Struck out and grounded out. I think everybody else on Eaton's lineup has a base hit or has reached base. Maltos Garcia throws over to Woldridge at first on the pickoff to see if Blaskowski's leaning the wrong way. Maltos Garcia peers in the pitch, and wild pitch to Hunter Ludgate. Ball goes back, bounces back to him, but not enough in order to be able to throw it down to first base. So C.J. Blaskowski moves up to second base on the wild pitch. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Mason Hernandez. Strike on the inside black of the plate from Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Ball on a strike. Maltos Garcia, the offering. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Mason Hernandez. Blaskowski gets the lead. The pitch from Maltos. Fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. See if Maltos Garcia can get an out here from Mason Hernandez. The pitch. Mason Hernandez hits that a mile high in the infield. Nick Wellen comes over right behind the bag. Blaskowski stays on the bag, and Wellen is able to squeeze that for the out in the top of the 4th inning, first out. And that brings up Brody Mills. Brody Mills is 0 for 2 as well. Maltos Garcia spins on the rubber, keep Blaskowski close. Brody Mills has been on base via fielder's choice, and he also flew out. First pitch to Brody Mills from Alejandro Maltos Garcia, a strike. Maltos Garcia gets the sign, the offering, upstairs. Alejandro throws the ball well for a freshman. He's allowed to giddy up and go on the ball. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, fouled back by Brody Mills. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hondo, the offering. And we have time at the plate called by Brody Mills. Blaskowski was dancing around out there at second base. Hondo gave him an extra look, and Mills said, hey, timeout. The pitch from Hondo, curveball, swinging for the second out. Brody Mills strikes out. Blaskowski stays at second base. And that brings up Cole Schumacher, number 9 hitter in the plate. Schumacher is flown out and singled. Blaskowski, a senior, Just seems he's been around forever. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, a strike on the outside corner of the plate. He's just having some fun out there, enjoying the day. Beautiful day for baseball. Laskowski leads off the pitch from Maltos, and a curveball hits Schumacher on the left knee. Schumacher trots down to first base. And that brings up top of the order, Roper Rich. Roper Rich, home run on the first pitch of the game. He's also gotten on base via the air, and he grounded out. First pitch to Roper Rich, a ball upstairs. The offering from Hondo, swinging strike to Roper Rich. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a little bit past 1 hour on our game time. Maltos Garcia throws back to second base. Braxton Shelton covering. Shelton gets the ball back to Hondo. Hondo climbs the hill, toes the rubber, gets the sign. 1-1. 2 outs, the pitch. Roper Rich fouls that out of play to the right. Ludgate gave chase, but ran out of real estate as the fence was the barrier that kept him from being able to track that down. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Roper Rich. He has an older brother, Ryder Rich, who graduated last year from Eaton. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, curveball, nice pitch, dropped into the zone, but umpire ruled that it came across at the numbers above the chest. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rich, the pitch, and Roper Rich strikes out swinging. For the recap, Eaton scored 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no brush errors. There were 2 runners left on base. After 3.5 innings of play, Eaton 9, Brush 0. You're listening to Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Welcome you back to Sunset Field. Ben Garrett, the batter. Eaton is leading Brush 9-0. The pitch from Ure, a pitch low and outside. Garrett walked his first time up. The pitch from Ure, a strike at the knees. Ure toes the rubber, brings the pitch. Garrett, 1 hopper to Ryder Rich, clanks off his glove. I think Garrett would have been able to beat that out just because it was a high hopper. So we'll give Garrett a single to third base. So Garrett is on at first. And that brings up Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Hondo popped out his first time up to the first baseman. The pitch from Ure, a strike. Ure is just ready to go. Tiger on the prowl, like his hair is on fire. Maltos Garcia watches the pitch come across right about belt high on the outside corner of the plate. Garrett leads off first. Ure, the sign, the offering. Upstairs, ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Ure. Looks like he dropped down a little bit, come from the side, but the ball was low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the freshman Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Garrett with the lead at first. Hondo swings through a pitch, up in his eyes. Garrett holds up at first base. Brush has one out. Brings up Bryson Wooldridge. He struck out his first time up. Jared Ure with the pitch. Low and outside. Curveball. Ure has 8 strikeouts on the day. The pitch to Wooldridge. Wooldridge chases a pitch up in his eyes and out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bryson Wooldridge. Garrett leads off. Wooldridge swings through the pitch. Looks like Brush is just trying to get back 9 runs in 1 swing. They need to get back to where they've got the confidence of being able to go 1 base at a time, 1 hit at a time. See if they can chip into this 9-0 lead from Eaton. Curveball. Bryson Wooldridge caught looking as that curveball was to his left shoulder and broke right across the middle of the plate. Garrett, first base. There's 2 outs. Hunter Ludgate comes to the plate. Ludgate struck out his first time up. That's 9 strikeouts from Jared Ure. Hunter Ludgate offers at the first pitch, swinging strike. Ure peers in the pitch. Ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hunter Ludgate. Garrett gets a conservative lead at first. Ure, the offering, upstairs and in. 2 balls and a strike to the junior Hunter Ludgate. The wind that was blowing earlier today is let up. The pitch from Ure, and that fouled off of C.J. Blaskowski's mask. Umpire checks to make sure Blaskowski is okay. Indicates that he is. Ure with the ball on the mound, toes the rubber. Hunter Ludgate. Pitch was outside. Full count to Hunter Ludgate. 2 outs. As long as Ure comes to the plate, Garrett should be able to get a head start at first base. Off he goes. And the pitch from Ludgate let up by Ure. Change up. And Ludgate swings through the pitch for the 3rd out. So Brush, after 4 innings, is down 9-0 to the Eaton Reds. Brush scores no runs on 1 hit. There were no Eaton errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush Beat Digger Baseball at Sunset Field in Brush, where Eaton has a 9-0 lead over your Brush Beat Diggers. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and Bryce Leafgren leads off, 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles and a fly out. I'm glad that you've been able to tolerate me on the radio the other day at Valley and then today versus Eaton. We are so fortunate in order to be able to have guys broadcasting games. John Beltran, Chris Brom, Ben Blecka. Pitch from Alejandro Maltos Garcia, a strike. Those guys are like dancing with the stars. They're good, and very good. And Northeast Colorado is very fortunate to have them broadcasting baseball games. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, grounded to shortstop Wellen. Wellen gets the ball over to the first baseman, Bryson Woldridge, quickly for the out. Northeastern University, Sterling High School, Brush High School, Fort Morgan High School. These guys are great. Me, I'm on the Gong Show. Brings up Jared Ure, 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double on the day. I'm learning. I'm getting there. Bear with me. The pitch from Maltos Garcia. A ball. Second pitch from Maltos Garcia. A ball that bounces to the screen. 2 balls, no strikes to Jared Ure. The pitch from Maltos Garcia. Ball 3. Jared Ure, a senior, does a nice job for Eaton. The pitch to Ure, ball 4, 4-pitch walk. Ure goes to first base. We have the courtesy runner Dirk Duncan coming in. Brings up younger brother Ryan Ure, 3 for 3 on the day, a single, a double, and a home run. All he lacks is a triple for the cycle. We, as Brush Beat Digger fans, do not want to see that. Maltos Garcia steps off the rubber, fakes a throw to first. We do not need another run scored. Otherwise, we'll have a short day, perhaps, if Brush does not come back and score in the bottom of the 5th inning. Maltos Garcia, curveball to Ryan Ure, up and over Ure, and he's a tall kid, 6'5". Clanks off of Ludgate's glove for a pass ball. Pitch to Ure is outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Ure, the designated hitter. The pitch from Maltos Garcia outside, ball 3. Alejandro just needs to settle down. 7 pitches, balls. And there's ball number 4 to Ryan Ure. And Dirk Duncan moves up to third base on the wild pitch. And that brings up Dalton Logan. Cargill Meat Solutions. Cargill works with the community to make sure there are jobs for the members of the communities that they are in. Maltos Garcia, first and third. Goes to first with a pickoff. Keep Ryan Ure close. Dalton Logan hit a home run his last time at the plate. Officially, he's 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch, he walked, and then he hit the home run. Logan swings at the first pitch, up in his eyes. A strike. I think Logan was trying to hit that in the same location as he hit the pitch when he hit the home run last at bat. The offering from Hondo, outside, ball. The offering from Hondo. Dalton Logan hits a line drive, 1 hopper off the left field fence, left center field. Duncan comes around and scores. Ryan Ure scores from first base, and Dalton Logan is in second, stand-up double. He squared that ball up. One out in the inning. C.J. Blaskowski, 1 for 2 officially for the day. A single, a walk, and a fly out. Logan leads off from second. Blaskowski Ready, the pitch from Hondo, a strike right down the middle of the plate. Hondo, the offering. Blaskowski swings through the pitch. Strike two. Eaton, 11 runs on the board. Brush will need to do some business in the bottom of the fifth inning in order to extend this game. The pitch from Maltos Garcia upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The offering from Maltos Garcia and hits Blaskowski in the foot. He limps down to first base. Logan stays put at second. Mason Hernandez will be out of the game, and that brings to the plate number 19, Scott Grable. Maltos Garcia, runners at first and second. Peers in for the sign, the pitch to Grable. Inside, ball. Brody Mills is in the on-deck circle. The pitch from Maltos Garcia outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Maltos Garcia set. Ball's thrown in the dirt. Ludgate keeps it in front. Grable puts his hand up, stops Logan from going to third. Runners remain at first and second for Eaton. Grable ready, the pitch. Ball 4, 4-pitch walk, loads the bases. It brings up Brody Mills. Brody Mills is 0 for 3 on the day. Fielder's choice, fly out, struck out his last time at the plate. No place to put him. Maltos Garcia needs to throw strikes. First pitch fouled back to the screen. Eaton 11, Brush 0 in the top of the fifth inning. The pitch from Maltos Garcia. Ball. One ball, 1 strike. See if Brush can turn a double play. Get out of this inning. First pitch. The pitch to Brody Mills inside on the black of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The offering from Maltos Garcia. Overthrows. Ball's upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sets the offering. Fouled out of play. Maltos Garcia, this will be pitch number 44 in relief of Carson Rule. The offering. Downstairs, full count. No place to put this guy. Brush needs to take care of what they need to, not give up any extra bases via the free pass. Mills steps out, steps back in, digs in. He's ready. Hondo is ready. The pitch. And line drive over Braxton Shelton's head. That brings in Logan. Blaskowski comes around and scores as well. Grable to third, and Brody Mills has a single line drive to center field. That brings up number 22 for Cole Schumacher. So Jarrett Adams comes into the game to hit with runners at first and third with a score 13-0 in favor of the number one team in the state, the Eaton Reds. First pitch to Jarrett Adams, a ball. Maltos Garcia, pick-off attempt at first base. Brody Mills safely back in. Maltos Garcia, the sign, the offering, upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. The freshman pitching into trouble as he's walked several this inning. And then Eaton gets good wood on the ball and puts the ball in play, and they score runs. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jarrett Adams, the senior for Eaton. The offering, low. 3 balls, 1 strike from Alejandro Maltos Garcia. One out in Jarrett Adams walks. That brings up Roper Rich. Roper Rich, first pitch of the game. That's all Eaton needed at this point. That put them up 1-0. They've scored 12 additional runs since then. Eaton 13, Brush 0. 1 out in the inning. Bases are loaded. Maltos Garcia with a pitch to Roper Rich, a strike, inner third of the plate. The offering from Hondo, low and in, a ball. Brush has got a tall order in front of them facing the number one team in the state in RPI. The pitch from Maltos Garcia, low and in the dirt. No place to put a runner. Bases are loaded. The pitch, a ball. Thought it looked pretty good for a strike, but the umpire ruled ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Roper Rich choking up, but he's going to look for a pitch in his zone. The pitch, a strike, inside black of the plate. Hondo with the pitch. Roper Rich fouls it up and out of the playing field behind the scorer's table. Maltos Garcia, 3-2 count to the number one hitter in Eaton's lineup, Roper Rich, choking up. The ball's upstairs. Ball 4. Coach Odell is going to come out and talk to his freshman. That scored a run to give Eaton the lead, 14-0. Looks like we're going to make a change. Brush pitching change is brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler and gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy, convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. Looks like we'll have Ben Garrett coming to the mound, and Hondo Garcia will be going to third base. You're listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Eaton 14, Brush 0, the pitching change. You're back listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The pitching change is in. Ben Garrett moves to the mound. Alejandro Maltos Garcia to third base. Eaton with a 14-0 lead over your Brush Beet Diggers. There's one out in the inning. Bases are loaded. Not a good position for Brush to be in with the number one team in state. Thing is, with RPI, they don't rate it on runs scored, how bad you beat the opponent. It's just a matter of did you win or did you lose, and that's how they rate things. So right now, this could just as well be a 1-0 lead, and RPI purposes for Eaton, it'd be a win. The Garrett pitch, strike on the inner third of the plate. Ben Garrett from the full windup with the bases loaded. The pitch and grounded to Braxton Shelton, who gets it to Nick Wellen, who throws it over to first base for a 4-6-3 double play. Brush gets out of the inning. I'll give you the rundown here just real quick, and then we'll go to break. Eaton scores 5 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left on base. All 5 of the runs were earned against Alejandro Maltos Garcia. 4.5 innings. Eaton Reds 14, Brush Beet Diggers 0. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're back to Sunset Field. The first pitch from Jared Ure to the right fielder, Ivan Cardenas. Cardenas grounds it to the shortstop, Cole Schumacher. About 4 hops, and he gets it over to first base for the out. And that brings up Caden Moriarty. Caden Moriarty grounded out to second base, his first time up. The pitch from Ure upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Caden Moriarty. The pitch from Ure swings through the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jared Ure toes the rubber, ready to go. He's firing away. The pitch, curveball, outside corner of the plate. Strikeout looking. 2 outs in the inning. Brush down 14-0. It's in the 5th inning. Brush needs to score 5 runs in order to be able to keep the game alive. First pitch to Carson Rule, who struck out twice, fouls it off his foot. Ure ready to go. Rule steps in, ready, the offering. Rule fouls it down the right field line and out of play. Rule down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Brush down to their last strike. Rule hits a line drive to right center field for the 3rd hit on the day from Brush. Nice hit by Carson Rule. Carson's not given up. He's continued to swing well. That brings up Braxton Shelton. Braxton Shelton has one of Brush's hits. He struck out. The pitch from Ure to Shelton. Fouls back to the screen. Ure has 10 strikeouts on the day, dominating the Brush Beet Diggers. Braxton Shelton settles in, ready, pitch. Outer third of the plate for a strike. Braxton Shelton is down, no balls, 2 strikes. Carson Rule leads off at first base. Ure, the offering. Curveball in the dirt. Blaskowski holds on, That's the final out for Brush. In the 5th inning, Brush had no runs on 1 hit, no Eaton errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll come back after a 2-minute break. Eaton wins the game in 5 innings by the 10-run rule. They win 14-0 over the Brush Beet Diggers. You're listening to Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. We're back to Sunset Field in Brush with a final score 14-0. Eaton dominated Brush from the outset. Eaton scores 14 runs on 14 hits. They had 1 error. Brush was able to get 3 hits on the day, but they didn't get any runs as Jared Ure scattered 3 hits. Eaton left 9 on base. Brush left 5 on base. The game time is 1 hour and 37 minutes. Eaton got everything they needed from the first batter on the first pitch of the game. Roper Rich ended up hitting a home run over the left center field fence. To follow that up, Ryan Ure hit a 3-run home run, and Eaton had a 5-0 lead after the first inning. Their hitters were able to come to the plate in good hitting situations, and they put bat on ball, and they were able to square it up and be able to hit the ball pretty much at will wherever they needed to in order to put Brush on the defensive. And they hit 4 home runs on the day, and they scored the 5 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the 4th inning, and 5 runs in the 5th inning. And Brush never really had a chance. Jared Ure just stood on the pitcher's mound, towed the rubber, and continued to fire strike after strike after strike. He struck out 11 Beet Diggers and only gave up 1 walk on the day. So Jared Ure gets the win. Carson Rule the loss. On the day, Brush falls to 8-7 overall, 2-3 in the Patriot League, 6-4 at home, and Brush now has a 2-game losing streak. Eaton increases their winning streak to 11 games. They're 13-2, coached by Todd Hernandez, and they are 5-0 in the Patriot League, and they're 5-2 away from Eaton. Eaton is a good team that continues to get better as we go deeper into the season. Coach Todd Hernandez has 3 very good pitchers in Dalton Logan, Ryan Ure, Jared Ure, and he's able to roll those guys out in each of the games that Eaton has as they go through their schedule. He's got other guys that are able to come in and throw strikes. They used Mosier and Adams Tuesday against Liberty Common, a game in which they won 11-1. Eaton is number 1 for a reason in RPI, and they will continue to be there because they play a tough schedule, and they take care of business by being able to put up wins. Brush is going to have to dig down deep. They've got games this next week on Tuesday against Bennett. That'll be at Sunset Field at 4 p.m., and that'll be on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush on Thursday at 4 p.m. will play at Sterling, so the schedule doesn't get any easier. Bennett is the team that knocked Brush out of the playoffs last year, and Brush has already lost to Sterling earlier this year. And then next Saturday at Sunset Field at 11 a.m., Brush will play Liberty Common, and that game will be on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. From Sunset Field, Eaton Reds 14, your Brush Beet Diggers 0. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Baseball is Rose Condis. I'm Kevin Fergus with the final score 14-0. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.